Hey everybody, welcome to another Trust Launch AMA. We have a really cool project that we're going to be talking about today, C Zodiac. I'll get to them in just a minute. For those of you who are watching on Twitter or YouTube, any of the Twitter channels or the YouTube channel, and you're watching this live, if you want to ask questions, you've got to go to the Trust Launch portal, okay? Make sure you go to the Trust Launch portal. Wherever you're watching this, there'll be links to that. Make sure you go there. That's where you ask your questions. If you're new to Trust Launch is all about bringing quality projects with great dev teams together with serious investors who want to invest in crypto and they want to invest in quality projects. So we're looking for projects that are quality. We're looking for projects that have potential and ones that we feel like have a transparent and trustworthy dev team. Of course, you've got to do your own research like in anything, right? This is not financial advice today, but we're just here to introduce you to a project. And today's project is C Zodiac. So I'm going to bring one of the guys from the team on. Please welcome Dustin. Dustin, welcome to Trust Launch. Great to have you here. Can you hear me, Dustin?
How's it going? Yeah.
Perfect. Had you unmute there for a second. So, Dustin, let's first of all, great to have you here. I know that you normally would have come on video, but you are at home babysitting a toddler.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to be running around the house. I've got a headset on. I don't really have a way to just, sit down with the video, but I'm here. Just wanted to go over our project and that. I'm known as T4 in the space. Um, a lot of
T4.
people, yeah, that's that's what I'm known by as far as most of our affiliates and the community members and everybody. So, uh, pleasure to be here.
Hey, it's great to have you. And hey, cool to be helping out at home and watching the little guys. How many is? Do you have one child or do you have more than one?
We have one. She's about 20 months old and
Cool.
is running around and yelling and having a lot of fun, getting into things that cause me to react very fast. I think she likes to see how fast I can react when she gets into stuff.
No doubt. Sometimes I want to just go back to being two, just run around, do what I want. People feed me, tell me to have a nap. That would be awesome. But
Right.
anyways, that's not the case. So hey, let's go. Before we jump into your project, let's a little bit about you. Like, how did you even get into crypto? What's your story into crypto, and then your story into C Zodiac?
Cool. Yeah, no problem. So back in 2017, I had a buddy come to our studio. I'm in a band as well, and we play, some rock. We're like a rock band, so. But he came to our studio and was like, "You guys got to get Coinbase on your phones. You can buy Bitcoin." And we're all like, "Oh yeah, everybody's heard of Bitcoin." And um, my experience before that was a few years before, probably 2014, and someone I know I was working with, and they were talking about buying Bitcoin to buy, uh, you like illegal substances shipped overseas to someone's house and all this stuff. So I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea to buy that. And then
Yeah, no.
lo and behold, 3 years later, I have someone telling me, hey, this stuff is blowing up. This crypto is blowing up. It was around this time of year, well, I guess September, I think, of 2017. And hey, you guys got to get this. And here, they have Litecoin, and that's cheaper. Why don't you buy that too? Ethereum is cool. Okay, so that's all they had was the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin on Coinbase at the time. So okay, I'll just buy a little bit of this, and I put a couple $100 in on each one, and then, I mean, within a few weeks, my Litecoin had gone up crazy, like 3x, and so it was kind of that, I guess, initially sort of the gambler's mentality where it's, oh man, I'm in on because I had no idea what the tech of anything was with blockchain. I hadn't even really researched anything at that point, and I kind of wanted to learn more about it. So I got onto some other exchanges, some like offshore exchanges, and started messing around with Dogecoin, started messing around with all these uh, these sort of proof of stake QT wallet type of stuff, and just immersed myself into Binance and some other exchanges, and was trading on a daily basis, on my phone basically, and learning, and sometimes doing really well, sometimes losing. And at the time, Telegram wasn't really a thing, so you kind of had to wait weeks or months before you ever really knew what was going on with a project. It was, a lot of it was on like the garden, the forums, and things like that. And then crypto winter happened in 2018 and lasted a good while, but I was still kind of around. I wasn't as active, and then didn't really get into DeFi until COVID 2020, which is when we also um, started talking about having a kid and everything too. So my personal life was just sort of, I guess, getting wrapped into a lot of new things. So I guess they say like things always happen, changes always happen in threes and things like that. So for me personally, I think it was the adoption of DeFi from my former crypto experience, and then having a new family, and really just the third thing was kind of, I guess, C Zodiac, which leads me to my journey with C Zodiac around November. No, it was around October. It was around this time last year. So about 1 year after I had gotten onto DeFi. Well, let me just backtrack a little bit, because Ethereum, I don't know if anyone listening was on Ethereum around 2020 and 2021, but the gas fees, it wasn't really good for new investors to just jump on. For most new investors, if you had, millions of dollars, it wasn't a big deal, but paying 30 to 50 plus dollars for a transaction wasn't really feasible for someone who was just hobby crypto, which is what I was at the time. So I got a little bit on Ethereum and messing around, and like, man, I'd really have to move a few $1,000s at a time and really have to commit to a transaction. So I was automatically kind of interested in stable coins and liquidity pairs, because it looked safe and I didn't have to touch it. So I would do that. And then once BSC launched, took me a couple months, but I was on BSC last April or something, because SafeMoon actually, I was interested in checking out SafeMoon, and that led me into BSC and all the glory of that. So I'm messing around on BSC. I come across, how the space is. You're just kind of bouncing around and checking things out. And when I found C Zodiac, it was different. It was a farming and staking platform, which I was interested in staking and at the time, but it was based around sort of a Zodiac theme, which was different. It wasn't a dog, and it wasn't a fruit or vegetable or a pastry or anything. It was
Right.
different. So piqued my interest. I started hanging around, and within, I'd say, about 5 or 6 months after investing, I joined the team, and things started shifting into the drive, like the wheelhouse that we're sort of in now, which is pretty big. It encompasses quite a bit of an ecosystem, and that's leads me to now, I suppose.
That's interesting that you were, I mean, everyone in crypto right now is still an early adopter, but you were an early adopter since you had a chance to buy Bitcoin at like $1,000 back in 2017. So hopefully you loaded up on that. So I didn't know actually that you were not part of the founding of C Zodiac. So you just saw it, invested in it, liked it, ended up becoming part of the team.
Yeah, exactly. The founding team, I think, sort of some of them quit crypto altogether, and some of them had a falling out. The only original members of the team are the illustrator, who sort of slash graphic designer. He's the one who makes all the art and the token logos, all that stuff. And the developer, obviously, is still there. It's the same contract developer and the same illustrator. And then the rest of the core team would be me and the community manager. His name's Cy. And we have our CEO slash BDO. He goes by X Crypto, Turnip. That's it. Just five.
I see. Interesting. So a lot of change over the time here. The thing with C Zodiac, I mean, as I was researching it, there's just a lot of pieces to this. And actually, how we connected was because we did an AMA for Doge God, and Doge God had talked about you guys, that you guys helped Doge God launch, because you do help tokens launch with by lending them money with liquidity. So we definitely want to dive into that. We want to dive into your own stable token that you have, and so let's start. We can start with your token. We can start with what you do to help people launch.
Sure. You're kind of
For a
cutting
minute.
out there for me. I'm
Yeah,
not
sorry.
sure.
Did you? Yeah, I cut out there for a minute. I was just saying that you guys help people launch tokens because you help them with their liquidity, sort of like a bank. You also have a token. So you have a bunch of things going on, NFTs that pay rewards in. So again, like I said, there's just a lot to this project. So let's give us the 30,000-foot view of C Zodiac.
Okay, yeah. It could be complicated if I don't try to describe this the right way or from a perspective of what's actually going on. It's not too complicated, but we do have a complex ecosystem of rewards. It all really stems from our stablecoin, CZUSD, and we take our stablecoin on the open market on stable swaps and things like that. Ellipsis Finance would be the most notable one on BSC. They're the official fork of Curve Finance, which was the biggest and original stable swapping protocol on ETH. So they're directly forked from that, but they're on BSC. We take our stablecoin on the open market and generate rewards and interest, and we take that back to our ecosystem, our farm for our community, and we divvy it out as rewards through staking protocol and other things that you mentioned, NFTs. And it also allows us to have the Fair Tribe sector, Fair Tribe division of C Zodiac, which is what you mentioned about launching other people, launching other projects. For anyone who's got a project, got a business, got a community influencer, yada yada. Anyone could have a project without funding their own liquidity, because that's where we would come in with the contract codes as well as the liquidity in our stable coin.
So let's walk through an example of that. Let's say somebody listening wants to launch their own crypto. They want to launch their own token. At the same time, they know it's expensive. They know that they've got to fund the liquidity. Uh, then how would you help them? What would that look like?
Well, there's quite a number of options to get to the final product of what somebody might want or imagine. It depends first of all on what they want or what they're doing currently. What they If they want to just launch a meme coin with no utility or anything, then okay, sure we can do that, but we're we're not gonna be able to really tie a lot of, say, assets to that, um, based on if the person is vetted, if your following is big enough, or say your business is successful and things like that. We have to do our own personal vetting process with these project owners or developers, and the next step would be how much liquidity are they looking to have for their token, and how much capital could they generate on a pre-sale if they wanted to have a pre-sale. If they don't want a pre-sale, or if they don't think if they can generate zero capital, then they can still have the token, but then it'd be what you call 100% fair launch, and then they wouldn't have any team tokens to start with. They would maybe have a tax. We could add a tax in for volume for them to generate some kind of revenue from their token, and they wouldn't start with obviously tokens, because then they could just dump on us, and that would be not a good investment on our end.
So
So if
let's
they
say,
do a pre-sale and they raise a certain amount of capital, we would we would take the BNB or BUSD, whatever they raised on their pre-sale, and we would convert it into stablecoin, our CZUSD, and leverage that up anywhere from 2 to 5x, 200 to 500%, and reduce their volatility and increase their liquidity base of their project for the initial funding. So say if the one raised $10,000 on a pre-sale, we could actually give them somewhere around $50,000 in liquidity, just based on the investment of liquidity. The portion of the tokens that we would allot would be whatever it takes, and the pre-salers would get their bags, just like a normal pre-sale. But instead of having, say, 20% ratio or something like 5 to 1 or 10 to 1 ratio of liquidity to market cap, our liquidity to market cap ratio would be very, very close, almost 1 to 1, or sometimes liquidity is even higher than the market cap. And what this does is prevent pre-salers from dumping on everybody and taking the price all the way down to minus 90% and things like that. There's a solid concrete floor price when you have a fair tribe production. It's a major benefit.
that's a really major benefit because almost everyone knows now when you're, especially in a launch, like let's in a pink sale, it's like, get out early before the crash, because then it's just, there's people that make their full-time living. They just invest in the pre-sale and sell on the first few hours, right? They just do that. Hey, you can pick your own strategy, but it certainly doesn't help projects. And these are on my screen right now. These are projects you either launched or about to launch. Well, I see Doja here. That's how we connected with you guys. So let me ask this. Uh, Explain this for people listening who still may not totally understand this. And again, I know there's other parts to See Zodiac, but right now we're just talking about how you're helping people launch. When you let's take Dogecoin for a moment. They had a pre-sale, they raised a bunch of money, then you help them out. How does that benefit the holders of CZUSD? So let's say I'm an investor in CZUSD. How does you guys helping other projects launch, how does that help me as an investor of your token?
Well, holding CZUSD, there's not really much benefit since there's no automatic dividends, or there's no tax on the token itself. So if you are using CZ Farm, which is our staking and farming protocol, you're able to deposit the stable coins into the farm and collect our other token, CZF, CZ Farm, as a reward for staking CZ USD. So by the benefit to CZUSD is as we generate more capital and more holders, it's kind of like a bank. So except we're not using everyone's money and not paying out rewards like a bank would. Say if you're holding money in your bank account and maybe you get 0.1% interest or something for holding your money in the bank, but they're using your money on the back end for their investments and whatever they're doing. If you take $1,000 into a bank and they put it into an account, they're not going to give you that same $1,000 back. They're just going to give you $1,000. It's CZUSD is just a token, represents one CZUSD. We keep it pegged to $1. So the benefit is to join the community and the rewards of farming, because they keep increasing every day. Somewhere around $500 a day we're making on average through the stablecoin swapping.
I see. So CZ Farm. So CZ Farm is also a token?
Yeah, CZF is the ticker for that. CZ.farm is actually the web address for that. I wish I could show you right now. I just, my current situation. I just can't
No
log on
problem.
and.
You're chasing a toddler around, so no worries, no worries. And for you guys, what has been, in all projects, there's things that have gone well, there's things that, maybe not as well as they'd hoped, or maybe they're fine, but they're not like the super sexy part of the project. For you guys, what has been like the most exciting thing of all of the C Zodiac?
Oh gosh. Well, that's a good question. Really, there's so much that's exciting about it, but honestly, the whole Fair Tribe division, the whole process of being able to help other people launch and give them something solid that no one no one can rug each other is what's happening. So a lot of developers and project owners, it's yeah, there's scam artists out there, but a lot of these, quote unquote rugs are happening by the investors just dumping. The original investors say, a developer has to give discounts to pre-salers for people to
Mhm.
fund the pre-sale. You have to give discounts to so and so, or yeah, maybe it is a team member that got trusted with some tokens and they dumped them. Whatever the case is, we don't allow that to happen in the structure of building the token and everything. Our tokenomics are solid, our plans are solid. If someone is trying to scam somebody, obviously they're not going to want to work with us, because they're going to want to hold all these tokens and say, oh, well, we need these tokens to give away for promotions. And well, that's how you kill yourself as a project, is by giving away all these tokens to people. Say it's cool to have buyback promos and everything like that, but if you can't really afford it through your own volume and promotion, then you're kind of giving away. You're sort of writing a check that you can't cash. We don't allow that to happen in the ecosystem. So that's kind of the most exciting part, is really cleaning up the space and giving people something that's safe. Giving people a place that's safe to invest. Every Fair Tribe is obviously 100% endorsed by C Zodiac DeFi Bank. and it's just an exciting launch pad, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, for sure. And how do people get to know about upcoming launches with you guys? Is that in your Telegram group you announce those?
We do. It takes months to at this time to launch anything, generally because we only have one developer working on all the contracts and the inner workings of how CZUSD is integrated with these new tokens. So it takes literally months. There's only been since February, we've only had 4, and there's a 5th one coming soon. It's pretty exciting, but I can't talk about it a whole lot. It's actually an influencer, a micro influencer, I'll call him. He's in some corners of the space that people probably know him, and it's an entire staking protocol and token system for them. That's really exciting. But once that's getting closer to being released, we start announcing, hey, so and so is launching a Fairtribe token with us. Then you can go on cz.cash. That's our other DApp. We have cz.farm and now cz.cash. We'll post it on there, and it makes it easy for people. They don't need a contract address. They just click the whatever token icon they want and take their BNB, swap in, swap out, whatever they're doing. So, yeah, pretty much, it'll be on our Twitter too. There's a Fairtribe channel on Telegram where there's a Bobby Bybot who tracks all the Fairtribe tokens, all the action. It's posted on the Telegram.
And this is your DEX that you guys created here, CZ Cash?
Yeah. So right now it uses PancakeSwap liquidity. So all these tokens are on PancakeSwap. It's not a problem to go directly to PancakeSwap and swap in and out. But like I said, you need the contract addresses, and a lot of people don't like that, get nervous or something when they put in a contract address. So CZ Cash makes it a lot easier for the users in the CZodiac space.
Nice. This is great. Now, CZ Cash, do you guys make any money off this when people do exchanges on here?
No, it's the standard 0.2% LP for the pancake. We don't.
Mhm.
There's no extension or added taxes from CZ Cash. Everything is as is. 0% on 0%. 0% tokens are still 0%. Obviously, there's the 0.2% that a lot of people overlook. That's just automatic. Pancake Swap takes that if you're using their market making system.
Gotcha. So I do want to talk a little bit about your NFTs and how that comes in to holders. So I mean, it's cool NFTs here. So let's talk a little bit about this, and I'll go ahead and show them in just a minute. But how does this NFT series, um, you know, incorporate into your whole ecosystem?
Of course. I can't see which ones you're looking at. There's a couple different series of NFTs.
Let me go there. Right now, I just had the website up, but I'll let me go to Treasure. Let's see. Over, it's called Treasureland. All right, here we are. Rabbit Catch. Can you see them?
So Rabbit Catch, yeah, that was interesting. We did so as the Chinese zodiac theme was started on Ox, and then they migrated over to Tiger, and as the migration to Rabbit happened, that was the first big minting of NFTs that was done by CZodiac, and they were given a utility as well. Obviously, there's a lot of things you could do with NFTs. We chose to make a staking pool But then as that wasn't working out, we ended up just airdropping weekly rewards just automatically to anyone who was holding the Rabbit Catch NFTs. Just very recently, about 3 weeks ago, we had to cut that off because of just bearish market conditions were crushing CZF token price and liquidity both. So having to cut that off and put the staking NFT staking platform, the building of that is pretty crucial now. So it's on our to-do list to get done. But those are meant to have passive rewards and also possibly a boost of your TVL on CZ Farm. So say you have, we'll just use the $1,000 example again. But if you have a rabbit, you can plug it into the pool and give yourself a 2% boost all the way up to 10 rabbits. And if you get all 10, then you'd get a 25% boost. This hasn't been made yet. This is just in the works. So your $1,000 would have a 25% increase, a $1,250 impact on the staking pool. So you'd be sucking in more rewards for the same amount of money just because your rabbits are boosting your TVL. Now, there's another NFT series. If you go to bad.rabbitcatch.com, let me see here.
What was that again?
Are you on Treasureland?
Yep.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna hop over here real quickly. We have another series. It was a rabbit series that was made by one of our partners. Super good artist. Goes by Jamie Pearson. He made these. It's called One Bad Rabbit. And there was only 100 of these. And they're really cool. I'm going to send you the link.
Okay. Yeah, they don't come up here. Well, I can't get them to come up. Are you sending me the link in Telegram?
Is that okay?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I think these rabbit catch ones are actually pretty cool.
They are cool. It's almost like a Mary Poppins type of feel or something.
Yeah. All right. Let me bring this up. Let me bring this up on screen here. It takes me a little minute to switch screens, but
the rabbit catch, they started minting at 0.1 BNB, and then every 100 minted, they went up another additional 0.1 BNB. And there was a cap at 2,500, but after around three, we got up to 400, and it really started to slow down, and that was back in January, early February. So also when the bear market started, the impending doom feeling on everyone. I think it was sort of a timing issue.
yeah. T4, let me ask you this. For people because some people don't have a real positive view about NFTs. They think like, hey, NFT, that like ship has sailed. That was like a trend for a while and that's dying down. Do you agree with that or you think that's not true?
I think it's possible there was a bubble for anything that was NFT'd. Me personally, I definitely feel there was an NFT bubble that just happened, and it was meant for. NFTs are meant for a utility, the specific utility of ownership, of specific individual ownership. Now, for people to now this is just me personally speaking, but there's a lot of NFTs that were minted and traded for super high amounts of money, like incredibly ridiculous amounts of money, just for people to have a picture of something, and there's no utility, say, behind that. Or maybe there is a utility for like a Bored Ape. You're you're allowed to go to this party if you can prove you have an NFT, like if you're a celebrity. So it becomes a nostalgia thing, and people overspend and have these things that they really can't afford or really don't need because of that, because of how
Mhm.
celebrities might hype things up, and celebrities are kind of getting scammed by these developers or whoever, saying, "Oh, if we just get some of these guys on board, you know, other rich people and other celebrities are going to get on board because they're going to think it's cool. It's the hype thing to do," and they don't really care how much money they're spending. But the average investor, or your average, say, follower of modern culture and celebrity culture, they're going to think that they need one of these to be like the people that they're watching, who they're idolizing. So that happened. And now they're stuck with these NFTs that nobody wants and they have no utility. So that being said, say tickets in the future, I believe, are going to be NFTs for events. It's easy to do. You have this many tickets that you're allowed to sell because of a capacity limit, and everyone mints one ticket if they're going to the show. If they're not going to the show after they mint the ticket, then they can trade scalp just like they would having a digital ticket, but you can't reproduce that digital ticket because it's an NFT. You can't. And then you have to have certain applications in order to trade your digital ticket because it's all centralized. Well, you could just go on OpenSea or Tofu or TreasureLand and say, "I got a ticket for this show." You know, it's real easy. And once that's expired, it's expired. It's no longer usable. I also think you can give utility to NFTs in any kind of way you really want. So these Bad Rabbit NFTs, we give they're bad because they give you a ability to get tax evasion on the CZ farm. So there's a withdrawal tax on the pools that'll burn some of your tokens on the way out. If you plug these rabbits in, then they save you from that tax. You don't pay that tax.
I see. Oh, that's really smart. So having them is a little bit like a discount coupon.
And the more money you have, the more, say, TVL you have on the farm, the more that rabbit's really worth to you.
I see. I see. Yeah, that's great. I haven't heard anyone else do that. What do you think is, and I agree with you about like things like events, and I think that's a great use of NFTs. And again, NFTs without utility are, I think, are more just going to be like pieces of art that people hold. The challenge with digital art is people can just pump it out so fast, but when there's a
Hmm.
utility connected to it, then yeah, makes total sense. Let's talk a little bit about the future. What is in store for C Zodiac?
There's mostly more automation. So if we can make it so it's easy for someone to come and drag and drop, or say just click certain things they want to build on their token. This is for Fairtribe. If they want a Fairtribe token, they want to participate, they want X amount of liquidity, they want a pre-sale, they want to do this and that. Do they want taxes to go to their wallet? They want reflection, the whole spiel. Anyone who's been around knows all the different things you can do to a token. Well, if we make that feature very user friendly, that would be cool. We're working on that automation for, so the token generation, the token building, that's up and coming in the future. The staking pools for NFTs, that's up and coming. We just need to make sure that's safe and makes sense for when we
Mhm.
do it. So that'll be an automated thing. Basically, we want to open up another collateralized lending for CZUSD. So if someone has something that's has has real value, we could do it for NFTs if there is real value, but mainly tokens, other tokens. We'd probably start with our own tokens. Say our anyone who's a Fair Tribe member token would be automatically on the list, but they could say deposit those tokens and get some CZUSD to go do whatever they want to. Say they wanted to chase a holiday meme coin or something, and they really think they're gonna 5x or something in the next week, so they can take that CZUSD, try their luck, maybe take a gamble, maybe win, come back, pay the collateral, and get the
Hmm.
get the get the get the collateral back. If they don't pay it, then we would seize the collateral, and no big deal. That's kind of exciting in the future, almost like like a pawn shop or something, I guess you could call it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, what would you say? So, for anyone who's listening to this and maybe they're new into crypto or early into crypto, or just somebody who's listening and they're intrigued by this and they want to start, let's say, a small bite with your project, what would you tell them to do? Buy what?
Buy and stake CZF or buy and stake CZUSD. Um, I personally, I would just suggest just come over to our channel and start just see how we are, and see how the investors, the current community members are and would endorse us, and listen to people's testimonies, because that's what I do first. Is I talk to people and see how people are, um, personally. But yeah, if I was gonna say buy CZF, stake it on CZ.farm, and start collecting CZUSD as rewards, I think that's the best option, especially right now.
Yeah, I hadn't shown the screen yet. This is CZ Farm, and
Oh,
this is
cool.
where you can buy CZ Farm and stake here.
hmm So that runs both ways. We have staking pools for CZF that reward CZUSD, and we have staking pools for CZUSD that reward CZF. They go back and forth. Some
I see.
people might feel a little better about holding a stable coin and collecting interest on that, which are, for a stable coin, I think 30% is incredible. It's pretty huge. APR, 30% APR paid in
Yeah,
the state CZF. But for people who are bullish on C Zodiac and bullish on CZ Farm, buying CZF now and staking it while getting stablecoin rewards, so the price of CZF could fluctuate, potentially go up a lot. So your bag would be worth a lot more while you're making rewards in stablecoins. So that's a kind of a win-win as well.
yeah. There's so many. Like I said at the beginning, there's so many things to this project, and it's really cool what you guys have been doing. And obviously, you have. It's not like you've only been around 3 months, and so this project's been around for a while, continuing to evolve, and you have some really solid things going on here. So it's really exciting. As we close out T4, is there any last things you would like to leave us with?
I think we covered pretty much everything as far as that goes. You asked me before we started if I had a metaphor for the project, and I kind of liked that. So really, what we're doing with Fair Tribe, if anyone is an influencer or has a community manager, they are a developer, they are whatever, they just have an idea. Fair Tribe's kind of like a record label. When you look at it, we can we can sign you a deal that doesn't really cost you anything. It's just sort of, hey, we can produce you and put you out on our platform and give you something to start with, as long as you have something. And that's all it takes. Sometimes it's just an idea, but you don't know who to help get it started.
I like that. I like that concept of a record label because, again, it's like there's a lot of artists out there that are very talented and they have great ideas, but again, if their music doesn't get the distribution, they're going to be stuck grinding and scraping for every single dollar. But when a record label gets a hold of them, then obviously they partner with them. It's still the artist whose project gets heard around the world, but the record company makes it happen. And I think there's a lot of people that maybe even some of you who are listening and you think, hey, I'd like to launch a token, or I could do better than that. Like that's how some of our projects started, by being in other projects going, hey, like these guys don't know what they're doing. Like we could do better, things like that. So something like CZ or C Zodiac makes it possible for people who, like I said, maybe you only can hold your pre-sale and you make enough money, and then you partner with C Zodiac and they can help you out. So I think it's really cool what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah,
We're
if I
definitely
just might add one more thing about that,
yeah.
about you said, as an artist, say you have art, or say you have an NFT series, or say you don't even have an NFT series, you just have a line of art and you want to make NFTs. Uh, we actually built this. We call it the VRF sandwich. And if anyone knows what VRF is, it's just a verifiable randomness that's on chain. We're able to make a lottery system of a tokenized lottery system, so people can buy a token and hold it, and they have a chance to win an NFT that's being minted. So, for instance, if there's a line of NFTs and they all cost $100, well, you want one, you don't have $100, but you want a chance to win, you can buy this token over here that's, say, $1, hold it, and as volume is produced on that token, there's a mint on the NFT. That token literally will buy, like a rewards token would sort of airdrop its own holders in rewards. Well, this rewards token would buy the NFT and drop it to one person. So that's already
That's
been
really
done
cool.
in the Fair Tribe.
So much potential. Sorry, was that?
Yep.
Oh,
Alrighty.
sorry, I
Well,
cut you off. No
no, that's
problem, no
okay.
problem.
Yeah, I just, like I said, it's a lot. As you can see, it's a lot. So it's tough to really go over everything.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, but hey, it was you explained so many things well for us, and obviously you guys have just a lot of legs to your project. There's just so much potential in the future here, and that's what we love in the crypto space, when we find projects that have potential, that are thinking creatively, that are doing things that maybe other people are not doing, and not just copying contracts and creating forks and things like that. So always good to see. Anyways, Team 4, thanks for being here. For those of you who are listening, if you want more information about C Zodiac, then the links are all in the group here. And of course, if you're over on Twitter, you should see the links as well in the post that we use to announce this. So on that, we'll have to have you back in a little while, T4, and just get an update on the project and how things are going. Obviously, we're in this bear market, which can't last forever. And it'll be interesting as things start to take off and how that impacts all the different projects. So,
Yeah, maybe on the next bull run, we'll be going hard, and that would be a cool time to talk with you again.
for sure, absolutely. All right. Well, listen. Hey, thanks for being on today. If you just want to stay backstage for a moment and let me close out here, and then I'll catch you backstage. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. See ya. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that sit down with T4 and C Zodiac. Again, it's a really cool project with a lot of different things to it. Obviously, you see how these guys are just thinking creatively on how they can reward holders, how they can create something stable and safe, and how they can help other people launch projects that are more stable and more safe than a lot of the launch pads that you see. So definitely lots of potential there. Of course, this isn't financial advice. You got to do your own research. And to do that on Zodiac, go to their link, which you'll see in the group here. All right, that's it for today, everybody. And fantastic. Have a fantastic day, and we'll chat with you soon.